Buenos días y buen bonitos a todos. Good morning and welcome, everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom link, please contact me for the link and the password, or check our website, www.cslpv.org, and you'll find the Zoom meeting link under the weekly talk section. Today is Sunday, March 9th, 2025. And our topic for this month is the flow of coming and going. The topic for today is the still small voice. And I'd just like to mention, as I didn't mention it last week, but yesterday was International Women's Day. So thank you to all the wonderful, beautiful women in the universe that keeps us moving forward, providing that love and that connection. And once again, I'd like to truly welcome everyone, including those that are new here to our center in Puerto Vallarta or to our teaching. So we have a philosophy that we teach here, and it honors all faith traditions. So whichever path you are on, know that it is the right one for you. And you are all so very welcome here. As I mentioned, we do teach a philosophy called the Science of Mind. And it's a teaching based on ancient wisdom and new thought. We offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. And we honor diversity in all aspects. When Dr. Ernest Holmes first founded this teaching in the 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the Science of Mind, which provides focus on the individual use of this powerful thing called the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the teaching, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week, we offer a service with an inspirational message. And we offer the Zoom meeting every Sunday at 10 a.m. And we'll be resuming our in-person meetings on the first and third Sundays of the month. Whether you come to the Zoom or in person, hang out with us after to enjoy some coffee and great conversation with like-minded people. So now, as we do each week, let's review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a great purpose here, or a grand purpose, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. And more on all of these can be found on our website under their own drop-down page. So if you would like to read up more about these, then please check our website. So how do we distinguish between that chattering voice of our ego and the true voice of intuition? And a question, can the answer be found in spiritual practice? I'll just let you know in advance. Yes, it can. So let's look at this quote from Eckhart Tolle. He said, when you recognize that there is a voice in your head that pretends to be you and never stops speaking, you are coming out of the unconscious identification with the stream of thoughts. When you notice that voice, you realize that you are not the voice. the thinker, but the one who is aware of it. Freedom lies in knowing yourself as the consciousness behind the voice. So, at the risk of dating myself, does anybody else remember watching Fred Flintstone as a child? Occasionally, we would see the little green alien, the Great Gazoo, who would act as Fred's higher intelligence, who served as an external voice influencing his decisions. And many of us also know that Pepe, the cricket, the voice of Pinocchio's conscious, who in that fairy tale is the supreme guardian of the knowledge of good and evil, counselor and guide, assigned by the Blue Fairy. Although Pepe is a Disney character, this character exists in each of us and is called intuition. The million-dollar question is, how do we distinguish between the chattering voice of our ego and the voice of intuition? Well, in the Science of Mind textbook, Dr. Ernest Holmes tells us that intuition is the voice of God within us, which includes the ability to perceive truth beyond any reason and logic. He also emphasizes the importance of trusting our intuition to make decisions and guide us in our life. Intuition connects us with our inner wisdom and helps us to find the answers beyond that which we can rationally understand. Our intuition is a deep inner knowing, a connection between mind, body, and energy. The gut, or our third chakra, being the solar plexus, is often said to be where our intuition is, hence the term gut instinct or a gut feeling. Intuition can also be found and felt in the heart, referred to as heart intelligence. Now, our logic thinking brain may decide one thing, but our gut or the heart says another thing. Have you ever been in a new city at night and just get an in instinctual feeling to avoid going down a specific street or avoid a certain place, only to find out later that perhaps a robbery occurred there? Or maybe you decided at the last moment to take a detour on your way home, and later you found out that there was a major car accident on your regular route? Well, Ernest Holmes said this about intuition. Intuition, which is nothing less than God in us, silently awaits its recognition and cooperation. So those messages that we receive, those are is our intuition speaking to us. So today, let's review some of the spiritual practices that we can use to help us listen to that small inner voice, our intuition, that voice that speaks to us in our daily life. Meditation, visioning, and practicing the presence are some of the methods we'll look at today. So meditation, the most common spiritual practice today is meditation. And it can show up in different shapes, forms, sizes, and designs. Whatever form you give to the practice, be it guided meditation, moving meditation, chanting, or repeating certain mantras, meditation has been scientifically proven to help us to quiet our mind and thereby reducing stress and anxiety in general. It also helps us to improve physical and mental health, and it sharpens our intuition. A meditation of silent practice, as taught by Buddhist doctrines, can support us in cultivating mental calmness, along with the easing of the path to access that small voice of stillness in the heart. These meditative practices help us in our own introspection. In a world full of noise and constant distractions and apparent chaos, the small voice of stillness invites us to stop and allow ourselves to feel, reflect, and connect with our inner self. Meditative introspection allows us to know our deepest emotions, our thoughts and desires, which in turn helps us to make more conscious decisions that are aligned with our true essence of being. In The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote this: no matter what our emotional storm or what our objective situation may be, there is always a something hidden in the inner being that has never been violated. We may stumble, but always there is that eternal voice, forever whispering within our ear, that thing which causes the eternal quest, that thing which forever sings and sings. Another tool is visioning. Envisioning is a practice that we use often. Dr. Michael Beckwith explains it this way in his course, Visioning, A Way of Living workbook. Visioning is a process by which we train ourselves to be able to hear, feel, and see and grasp God's plan for our life or for whatever particular project we are working on. It is based on the idea that we are not here to tell God what to do or to ask God for things, but to be absolutely available for what God is already doing, to open ourselves to grasp what is already happening. So, this practice of visioning requires concentration and time to enter into a receptive silence. And from there, we can capture the divine idea, a supreme expression, or uh, whatever it is of our life or our current project, that which we are desiring. The vision opens us to a greater idea than we typically have on our own. So Rick Field, professor of physics, University of Florida, explains it this way: only when we are silent can we begin to hear the voice that is truly our own, what the Quakers call the still small voice within. The source of this voice, which may be without sound and yet is heard, is called by many different names: the inner guide, guardian angel, spirit guide, the collective unconscious, or just plain intuition. Actually, all of us hear the whisperings of this voice every single day of our lives, but yet many ignore it. And Eckhart Tolle said this: wisdom comes when one is able to be still. Just look, just listen. Nothing else is needed. Stillness, looking, and listening activates the non-conceptual intelligence that nestles within you. Let stillness direct your words and your actions. So there was a man named Dave, and he was feeling lost in life. So he decided to seek wisdom from a famous spiritual guru who lived in a quiet monastery high in the mountains. After a long journey, he finally arrived and was granted an audience. The guru sat peacefully eyes closed, radiating pure serenity. Dave, on the other hand, was a mess. His phone kept buzzing. His mind was racing with unfinished to-do lists, and car horns from the city still echoed in his head. Desperate for clarity, he blurted out, "Master, how can I hear my intuition? My mind is so noisy. The world is so distracting. I just don't know how to listen." The guru smiled and said, "Come, let us meditate together. Close your eyes." Dave did as he was told, eager for enlightenment. But just as he started to breathe deeply, ding, his phone rang and vibrated in his pocket with a notification. And at that moment, he was taken back into the world of noise, asking himself, what did my wife mean by interesting in the last text? And I wish I had downloaded that song about tranquility that I heard the other day. And I should have dressed up better to come and see this guy. And it's clear I can't quite calm down enough to meditate. All these things going through his head. Frustrated, he peeked open one eye and saw the guru sitting there, completely unbothered, sitting in the presence. Exasperated, Dave asked the guru, "How can you possibly ignore all this noise?" The guru opened his eyes, leaned in, and whispered, "Because I put my phone on airplane mode." So yes, sometimes we need to just turn off all of that external noise to enjoy and hear the silence. Which brings us to practicing the presence, another spiritual practice. Joel Goldsmith, in his book, Practicing Presence, tells us this continual practice of presence, a recognition of God in all that we do, providing us with sufficient periods to enter into silence and awaiting an inner feeling that the Spirit of God is moving, makes God the principle that governs, supports, and sustains all of our experience. To practice presence is to live in a state of wholeness 24/7, not only when we are in meditation, in class, in service, or listening to a spiritual audiobook. To practice the presence is to live aware of a self-living in this world, understanding that we are not of this world. There is something spiritual that permeates everything. In today's fast-paced, overstimulated society, it's often difficult to listen to that still small voice. Constant exposure to cell phone or computer screens, addiction to technology, including social media and the demands of everyday life, can hinder our ability to connect with our inner true self. Returning to the presence is essential in order to listen, hear, and follow the guidance of our inner voice, which provides a path to authenticity and wholeness. Eckhart Tolle, in Stillness Speaks, said this: "Stillness is your essential nature." What is stillness? The inner space or awareness in which the words on this page are perceived and become thoughts. Without that awareness, there would be no perception, no thoughts, no world. So this week, we have the opportunity to remember to live from our unity consciousness, knowing that within the hectic and ever-changing back and forth of life, we are always in the divine womb, There's nothing outside of ourselves. We are not separate from life. We are life itself. Remember, when needed, to simply take a moment to pause whatever you are doing, observe your thoughts, and remember who you are, the flow of God as oneness. And I'll leave you with this quote. The mystics reveal that in silence and stillness lies our strength. In silence and stillness, we find God, not in eternal worship. And that leads us to our affirmation for the week. Today, I let stillness express as me. And so now it's time for news and updates at our center. If you're interested in learning more about the Science of Mind teaching, we do offer courses via Zoom as well as in person. So connect with me or check our website to find out the details. And if you are interested in any other specific course or workshop or even a book study, then please let me know so that we can plan for dates for these as well. I've also been asked again about a grieving circle. So I'll put more on that on the website. And if you are interested in joining a grieving circle, then please let me know so that we can gather as many people to support each other in that community. And if you would like to have a one-on-one experience of a spiritual mind treatment, then please let me know so we can arrange for that. And if you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, as we do renew our memberships annually, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, then please connect with me so that you can get the form for that as well. I'd also like to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. The more likes that we have on our YouTube channel, the more the algorithms show up and the more people that it will come across their feed so that they can enjoy it as well. So please do like and share, as well as subscribe to our channel. And now it's our time for mindfully giving and financial support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. We bless the financial gifts that you give today. Every donation is appreciated, no matter the amount. And just so that you are aware, your contributions are circulated with our tithing to our greater organization, as well as the tithing to the local women's shelter here in Puerto Vallarta. And tonight is one of the primary events to help raise money for that women's shelter. It's called What a Drag. And so we will be attending and providing our tithing to that organization this evening. So just to remind you that donations can be made through our website, www.cslpv.org, and you'll find the donate buttons on both the landing page as well as on the page for the replay. You will have the option of using either PayPal or Tithely. Alternatively, you can also use the paper check and send those addressed to CSLPV number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y8N1. And now, please join me in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. The season for nonviolence is a global grassroots campaign dedicated to raising awareness about the transformative powers of nonviolence. And this season was established by Arun Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi's grandson, and a yearly event celebrating the philosophies and lives of Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. This season marks the 64 calendar days between the memorial anniversary of the assassination of Gandhi on January 30th and that of King on April 4th. Mahatma Gandhi said, "Nonviolence is not a garment to be put on and off at will. Its seat is in the heart, and it must be inseparable from our being." And Martin Luther King Jr. said, "Nonviolence is absolute commitment to the way of love. Love is not emotional bash. It is not empty sentimentalism. It is the active outpouring of one's whole being into the being of another." So please practice peace and nonviolence, not just during this season, but every day. May peace and love be with you. Blessings to all. Namaste.